Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. A bill under consideration at the Indiana Statehouse would establish a fund aimed at increasing Indiana's odds of winning bids for big-time sporting events and conventions. Proponents say the fund is needed to fend off competition from states like Texas and Florida that have similar funds and using that cash to cherry-pick events that Indiana wants. For details on the fund and its potential impact, pleased to be joined by the bill's co-author, State Senator Kyle Walker, who represents District 31, which includes portions of Marion and Hamilton counties. And Senator Walker, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's talk about this interesting concept here, but more and more, and as I understand it, 15 cities, municipalities, counties, states have these kinds of funds. What is this bid fund, and why, Kyle, is it needed?
Yeah, so the bid concept generally is to have something that would help accelerate the sports and tourism industry in Indiana. As you mentioned, there's a number of states and other larger cities that have some sort of a bid fund that augments their private contributions that they use to attract events, both in all realms of sports and tourism. And Indiana and Indianapolis in particular has capitalized and made a name for themselves as being a tremendous sports and tourism city. But we've increasingly seen that the competitive advantage that comes along with these bid funds is significant. And so this bill seeks to correct that. Yeah,
certainly the big events like the College Football National Championship get a lot of attention, but we're looking at video there from LaPorte, which had a high school showcase televised on ESPN recently. So there are events like that increasingly around the state of Indiana. So this would be a fund targeting not just the big time events, but events, conventions in other parts of the state as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And actually the bill says that at least 25% of the funds must be spent outside of Marion County. Yeah. And we've got a great story to tell in a lot of our cities and counties across the state. I think about Turnstone in Fort Wayne, right, which is a nationwide leader in adaptive sports and one of only 11 Paralympic training facilities. Obviously, South Bend, Evansville, Terre Haute, really a tremendous amount of opportunity for particularly smaller events because, as we heard in testimony last week, there's some very significant events that are significant for some counties. They don't have the money to rent a playing field, if you will. And so this would allow those funds to be used and leveraged to produce a return on investment, both for those local communities, but also for the taxpayers of Indiana.
Yeah, and interesting the need for this, too, because we hear about Indianapolis in particular typically winning these big-time events, and you don't hear necessarily about the losses as much. But looking at some data here, Texas and Florida are two states that are identified as the places where Indiana is losing the most to with a fund like this. And over the past 5 years, there's been an increased number of lost convention tied to cities, tied to states that have these kinds of funds. So there is, as you mentioned, a competitive element to this that is very real.
Yeah, absolutely. And this fund is not intended to replace the private contributions that are the significant drivers of our ability to get sports and tourism events now. But again, it's to augment that, take it to the next step and accelerate the industry. And I think it will really, we already have a competitive advantage in many ways, and this will just take us to the next level.
Yeah, it's the obvious question. What everybody wants to know is funding. How will it be funded? And as I understand it, you're trying to get the apparatus in place next year, a budget writing session at the legislature. Maybe the financial piece would happen next year.
Yeah, that's correct. So this year we're focused on building that framework and then taking the next year to, talk with the stakeholders and talk with fellow legislators and try to come up with what is the right number. And that number will be determined next year as we look at our next biennial budget. And, it's too early to tell what that amount is. And other bid funds range from very small to very large, but I think that we can take the time to find the exact the right amount and go from there. But this year it's about building the framework.
Yeah, and very quickly, I know looking at some information from the Indiana Sports Corporation, they say they really didn't bid or weren't able to bid on a big swimming event because another state, I think it might have been Texas, had a bid fund that made that really not feasible. Very quickly, Kyle, what's been the reaction around the Statehouse initially to this idea?
It's been very positive. I've received several questions and comments from legislators, both on Appropriations Committee and not, and again, generally very, very positive. The majority of the members in a bipartisan fashion on the Appropriation Committee have joined me as co-authors. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we can get this framework done this year and then talk about funding next year.
All right, a sports and tourism bid fund. State Senator Kyle Walker of Indianapolis, thanks for joining us. I know we'll be following this story in the weeks and months ahead. Thanks.
Thanks, Gary.
All right.